Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Nathaniel. I'm going to be showing you today how to make one of my recipes that I learned and have slightly modified for myself. I call it my sweet honey beef curry. You will need to gather some ingredients. Utmost, you need to get golden curry, depending on the heat and whatnot that you want and flavor. You can choose that for yourself, but I usually use the green box, which is mild, so it goes best with the flavor. This isn't traditionally done style curry because it's going to be sweet, and I'm going to be making a large batch. I have a large family, so I usually use 2 boxes. You are going to be wanting to get honey, obviously, because it's sweet honey beef curry, hence the name. You will need toasted sesame seed oil, liquid smoke. You'll be needing two yellow onions, around, let's see how many carrots I got in there. Around 5 carrots, 3 pounds of beef, measuring cup. I forgot to take out how many potatoes I was going to need. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to use 6 rustic brown potatoes. You will need a big pot, primarily, that all the curry is going to be going in, and either a big pan, a big deep pan, or just another pot to cook the meat in. Like I said, my way is not traditional making this curry, but it comes out really good. The longer that you have to cook it, the better it will be. So, first off, we'll be getting started. Alrighty. So, I kind of follow some of the instructions on here, but I go a little bit more. So, you can do this with beef, chicken, lamb, or shrimp. We're using beef today. So depending on how much curry you're making, I do go by the water measurement on here. I just round it up. So we're going to be doing 2 1/4 of water. We're going to get that boiling. So set the stove for high. 2 cups. 4 cups. And half. Alright, we're going to take our golden curry out of the boxes. Get it cracked and ready. Separate the cubes. Okay, have those on standby. We're going to set those right over there. Gonna wait to get that water boiling. In the meantime, we're going to get our onions and carrots ready. So I need go with a bowl. Now, if you only have a minimum amount of time, this can be made in about an hour or so. So right now it's 6:56 and I'm starting. So we will see, depending on if there's any interruptions in the house. I will. Oh, and you also need rice. It goes best with rice. Peel out that outer layer. Gosh, my nose is so itchy. Oh. Alrighty, we're going to be cutting the onions in strips. And there are the dogs. Ooh, I almost chopped my finger there. Okay, onions are ready. Those are chopped. And we will need a vegetable peeler. And I will, not just for the carrots and potatoes, but you'll see why in just a moment. Wash the potatoes. I already washed the carrots. Okay. Actually, potatoes there like that. Water's starting to get hot. We're gonna go ahead and start mincing up these carrots. So again, you're gonna take your carrots and you're gonna cut them wafer thin. Now if you have a grater or a mandolin, you can use that as well, but the key part of the recipe is that carrots are thin, that they're thinly sliced. That way the flavor and seasoning of the curry and the other ingredients can kind of penetrate and cook faster, and it all just blends really well together. It's a little tougher once you get towards the edge. I don't have a mandolin or something like that. So save that for the dogs. On to the next carrot. And if you have one of those machines or rotaries, I forget what they're called, you can just slice this all very quickly. But this, I'm working with what I got. I give the big ends of the carrots to the dogs as a snack or a treat. Well, I might I think I'm gonna go the other way. Alright, the water's boiling. Get the curry in there. All right. Do some multitasking things. If you have somebody to help, and you can have one person stir this as you do that. It helps to have everything pre-prepped, but you know, it just makes things go faster. So you're going to stir in the curry. Turn that down to medium now. Let the curry blocks dissolve and start to thicken up the water. Get back to oh geez. Yep, definitely will invest in a slicer at some point. But like I said, I work with what I got. Yeah, there we go. Now I can start hucking away at this. Alrighty. Once the curry is dissolved, you're going to go ahead and throw in your onions, which you've chopped into, cut into strips, so like that. You can mince it, but I like the texture. You know, the onion kind of being noodle-like. Dump your onions in there. Go ahead and have your heat between low and medium. I'm kind of going to let it simmer. Onions will soften up. You don't want to lose a lot of water, so that's why we'll have the lower temperature. Want to try to get in the vegetables. They all got to get in here. And get these carrots in there. That hurt. Alrighty. Last one. Dog. Alright, we have our carrots. Go ahead, add that to the curry. I'm going to go ahead and mix them in, stir them in. Now we're going to do the same thing with the potatoes. You can peel them, leave the skins on. So again, we're just going to cut these potatoes like they're potato chips. Thin little wafer slices. Tough spot there. Reason I cut it so the potatoes and the wafers is so again that the sauce can penetrate it, cook it faster, and it also gets a good texture. Alrighty. Now you can also just cube your potatoes and cook it that way. It'll just take longer for the meal to cook. Next potato. Oh, hand's cramping up. Next potato. You can use red or golden potatoes. I use Idaho brown potatoes. It does affect the flavor. Then you can use whichever potatoes you prefer. Come over here and stir our curry a little bit. Make sure stuff's not getting stuck to the bottom and burning. Alright, next potato. Just stop at this potato. Seeing as how much I've got here. Again, if you have a mandolin or a slicer, this goes a lot faster. You do not have to end up doing what I'm doing. It takes a while, but it's the thought into the food that counts. You know, putting in the work. I enjoy cooking for my family and my wife and kids. I think we'll actually just put that potato back in the bag. Let's get them out there. Dump the potatoes in. Everything else, we're here to the trash. Pick up all my shavings off the floor. Alrighty. And we're going to stir in the potatoes. Make sure the curry sauce is, put you right there. Make sure the curry sauce is well covering everything that is on everything. The moisture in the vegetables is going to add to the curry sauce as it slowly cooks. The potatoes will start to become clear when they're cooking. Now we're on to the meat part. Oops, bump the camera there. Okay, you're gonna get your large pan or pot, whatever you're using. I'm gonna go ahead and set it to medium heat, start getting that toasted. Now if you prep the meat beforehand, it can be a lot better. So we're gonna go ahead, put the meat in the bowl. You're gonna get your toasted sesame seed oil, your honey, and liquid smoke. Get what? Oh, there it is. Get a meat pounder. So this is where I kind of just, you're gonna take your flatten it out so that way everything can get mixed. Just sesame seed oil. I'm gonna do just a little drizzle like that. Get your honey. I prefer to use local, all natural, unfiltered, uncooked wildflower honey. You know, support the farms, and it's better for you, and it makes the taste really good. You're gonna, depending on how much beef you make, you're gonna cover that whole top layer with honey. And when you mix it, it should kind of look like oatmeal. And for the liquid smoke, I go for the amount I'm doing, about a cap and a half. So if you're just making one box of curry, you just do one cap. That'll do it. And now we're gonna mix everything. Use a little bit more honey. You want it to have that glossy look. And so once you have it looking like that, it's good to go. I'm going to take this, put it in your pot or your pan. We're going to come over here now. Now we're going to crank it up to about 6 or 7. You want to, we're going to crank that up to 8 now. You're going to kind of cook and caramelize the beef. All the honey and the toasted sesame seed oil and liquid smoke is going to cook into the meat. All the juices is going to cook out of the beef. We're going to keep that. That's all going to go into the curry. So we're roughly 30 minutes in. It's 7:24 now. Back over here to the curry, stir it, rotate it. Make sure it's not burning or sticking to the bottom of your pot. While that's cooking, let's see, is that cold? Yep. Get the rice started. All right, let's get in there. This goes best with jasmine rice. That's what I like to use. You can do it with brown rice if you're on restrictions. The rice cooker plugged in. Check on this beef. We're going to let some of the moisture cook out of the beef. A little Himalayan pink salt for the rice. We're going to come back over here now. Gonna raise it to medium heat for the curry. Nope. Alrighty. Now everything in the beef, we got the honey in there, we got the toasted sesame seed oil, we got the liquid smoke for flavor, as well as the honey. We're going to dump that all into the curry. Turn that off. And then we're going to mix it in. In about 30 minutes it can be done. Again, the longer it cooks, the better it's going to taste. You just put it on a low heat and let it simmer, and you stir it occasionally, probably every 5 minutes, 10 minutes at the most. Make sure nothing's burning or sticking, and make sure everything's cooking evenly. You know, just put on a TV show, watch YouTube, or read a book, listen to a podcast while it does that. If I have the time, I like it to slow cook on simmer for 2 to 3 hours, and then it's perfect. But it can be done in about an hour once everything's in. Like I said, we're about 30 minutes in right now. In 30 more minutes it'll be done. So without any pre-prep, everything all out right in front of you, it can take about an hour. So then you cook your rice, and it'll all be good. And that is how you make my sweet honey beef curry. Hope you all enjoy. Please like and subscribe if you like the video. And let me know in the comments if you'd like to see more content like this. I will be trying to upload a lot more often, at least once a week. Hope you enjoy and make a good meal, and thank you all again for coming and watching. Bye. Stop recording.